Hi everyone, my name is Mayowa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to make this asymmetric wrap skirts. So I'm going to be showing you how to draft and sew this asymmetric wrap skirts pattern. So to do that, you're going to need a pattern like this. That is a full complete skirt pattern like this, your full complete skirt pattern. So you need something like this. So this is like a quarter. To get this full one, just fold it like this and then you trace it out and get this full one like this. So I'm going to be using my quarter scale pattern, like this little pattern I have. All I'm going to say is that this pattern is not like it's a scrap pattern. It's like this pattern is like my actual body size measurements scaled into 3. So if my bust measurements, it's like my waist measurement is 26. So this pattern is showing that is 26 divided by 3. So whatever I get is like what this pattern is. So I've cut down the size of the of my pattern just so that I can save fabric and all of that. So I'm going to be using my mini mannequin, that is my quarter scale mannequin, to illustrate this pattern. So before I continue, I would like to say thank you to all my returning subscribers, and if you are just joining this channel for the first time, please hit the subscribe button down below the screen, like down right there. Please hit the subscribe button, and you can also turn on the notifications bell right beside the subscribe button so you can get notified when I post new videos. So let's move on with today's video. Now, to easily draft this asymmetric wrap skirt pattern, the first thing I'm going to be doing is to alter this pattern. So in altering the pattern, the first thing I'll be doing is to draw in my lines for the front piece. So this is what I'm just going to do. For the front piece is going to be divided into 2 because it's going to be overlapping on top of each other. On this pattern, I already have all my allowances added. So this is the side allowance, my waist allowance, my hem allowance, and all of that. So at the hem, you can mark out any point at the hem. So I'm just going to mark this. Then I'll draw a line from here, from the waist here, right to this point I just marked. So it's better, you can make it a curved line like this. So this is my first wrap. Now that you've added this drawing, this is the first wrap. You can call it wrap 1. So you place your pattern on another paper like this, on another scrap paper like this. Then I'm going to trace what I just marked. I'm going to trace it out. So I'm going to trace this out from here, like this, like this, like this. So that's going to give me my first wrap. So I'm tracing it out with my tracing wheel. So now I'm done tracing this out with my tracing wheel. I don't know if you can see it, what I just traced, but I'm going to use my marker to kind of pencil this out for you so you can see what I just marked. So I'm just going to call this wrap 1. Now all my allowances from previously are ready on this, but the only thing I'm going to do is just to add my allowance for this part. So I'm just going to add 1/2 inch allowance to this part. Then you cut out and put it aside. Now before I forget, because this is a pencil skirt, I'm going to I should have done this on my actual pattern, but I can still do it now. So I'm going to go in by 2 inches at the hem because I want the hem of my skirt to be like pencil. Then you connect this straight back So this is the side of my skirt. So you connect this straight back to the hip. This is my hip level. Then you add your allowance. That is 1 inch allowance. So I'm going to cut this out. So this is going to make the hem of my skirt pencil. Now let's move on to the second wrap of the skirt. So before I alter anything on this for the second wrap, I'm just going to come to the hem right here and go in by 2 inches like I did for this part here, just to make the hem pencil like so. I'm just going to do that now. Then I'll draw a line that'll connect this to the hip. Now, so this is going to be my the new side of my skirt from here, 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 here. So now, to get the second wrap, depending on how exposed you want your skirt to be. So for me, I'm just going to come like from the hip level here. I'll draw a line that'll connect all the way from here, all the way to just a bit around here. Or rather, we'll draw a line from here all the way to this my new side right here, instead of like leaving just a bit. Depends on the style, but for my design I've decided to like draw a line from here all the way to this point here. So I'm just going to draw that out now. So that's that for my second wrap. So I'm going to place this on a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to trace it out with my tracing wheel. That is my second wrap. I'm going to start from right here. You know, this is my new side. This is the new side of my skirt here. So I'm going to trace like this all the way here. Then I'll trace the waist, then come here, and then come here, and this. That is that. So I'm just going to do that now. And this is it with all of the allowances added. So this is wrap 2, this is wrap 1. So all you have to do is just place the two on top of each other like this, and we have a front wrap skirt. And this is just, this is, if you fold this into two, you place this on top of a fabric, and then you add a zip allowance, your 3 cm zip allowance here, and then you get your 2 back pieces. So I'm just going to cut all of this out. So before cutting this out, I'm just going to fold in my dart legs here, because I don't want that on my final skirt. So but it's advisable you do this only when you're working with a stretchy fabric. So I'm going to lay this on my fabric like this, and then I'll cut it out. But you can leave the dart if you want. If you want the dart to appear on your final outfit, so you can leave the dart without closing it. So I'm just going to cut all of this out of my fabric now, front piece, back piece. And these are my cut out fabric pieces. This is wrap 1 and this is wrap 2. You can see wrap 1, wrap 2. So now if you feel like, and then this is these are my back pieces. These are my 2 back pieces. So you can see I've already notched this part to represent my zip allowance. This represents my zip allowance. So now to sew this, all I have to do is to come to the hem here. I'll sew down by 1 inch and also sew this down by 1 inch. Then I'll come to this part, and then I'll leave a bit from the top here. I'll leave a bit from here to this point here to accommodate my zipper. So from here I'll sew down from here all the way to this point. So the rest of this part is going to represent my slit, the slit of my skirt. So I'm just going to measure in 3 cm, 3 cm, 3 cm, 3 cm, 3 cm. So I'll sew this down, and then I'll iron it. I'll iron that part open, and then I'll open it up like this, and that completes my back piece. Now for the front piece, all you have to do is, if you feel like you need a lining for this, but for me, I prefer using a facing. But if you need the lining, you cut your lining, and then you remember to cut a lining also for the back piece. But if you are using a facing, all you have to do is to cut a facing for this part and also cut a facing for this part of the skirt. Then you place your facing here, sew down by 1/2 inch allowance, then you turn it in just to keep all of these parts like really neat and all of that. So you do the same also for this part. Place your facing on this right sides together, then you sew and then you close it in. So once you are done, I'm not going to be cutting a facing for this for obvious reasons, because like it's a scrap skirt and all of that. So it's just for me to like show you how it's done. So once you are done sewing your facings, all you have to do is to place both of them like this wrap part, wrap 1 and wrap 2. You place it together and it's going to become like one whole front piece. So this two becomes a wrap, like the two becomes one. And then you come right to the hem also, and then you fold it and sew down by 1 inch. You fold this little part also by 1 inch. So I'm just going to do all of that now, and then I'll place my front and back pieces right sides together, and then I'll sew them down by 1 inch at the side. So I'm just going to be doing all of that now, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like. Now this is what this looks like. So I've joined it at the sides, you can see that. So this is the back, you can see. So at this point you fix in your zipper right here. Then for the waistband, all you have to do is to measure the waist here. So you measure the waist round. So you measure the waist round here. So whatever you get, you measure it round. So whatever you get, you add 2 inches to it, and then this is it here. So this is the length of my waist, this round. Then the width will be like, you can measure like 2.5 inches for the width. So we are going to fold this like this. So the whole width for your own waistband is going to be like 5 inches. So folded like this is going to be 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So the length is going to be the roundness of your waist. That is the measurement of your waist plus 2 inches. The 2 inches is going to be the skirt flap. That is the flap for where the button is going to be at the back. So, and that's that for that. So we are going to attach this waistband right here. I'm going to come here and place this like this. So you open up to the wrong side. This is the wrong side. Then I'll place the right side of my waistband to the wrong side of my skirt. Then I will make this come out by like 1 inch. You extend the waistband, this waistband piece here, make it come out by 1 inch. So this represents the flap of the waistband. Then you sew down by 1/2 inch all the way around till you get to the end here. So once you are done with that, let me just pin this. So you sew this down 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch all the way till you get to this other part. Then once you are done, you do this, then you fold this way. You fold this together like this. So you fold the waistband like this, and then you sew just a bit, like maybe a quarter here, a quarter here. Then you turn it inside out. Let me just pin it down. So you sew a quarter right here, then you turn it inside out. So this is what I meant by sewing just a bit of this point. You can see this. So sew just a bit of this point just after you've sewn this down. So now the next thing is to turn this inside out like this. then you fold it just a bit by half inch here, and then you top stitch like this all the way to the end. Then you close this in also. So you top stitch all the way till you get to this point. So you close by half inch, and then you top stitch like this all the way round to the other side, and that's that for that. So just in case you feel like after you've top stitched, just in case you feel like you need to, just in case you feel like adding these extra bits, just cut something like this. It can be as long as you want it. So you cut 2 of these, place them right sides together, and then turn it inside out. Then you iron flat, then you place it somewhere around here. So it's just going to serve as another extra design piece for this part. So you just place it somewhere around there just after you've top stitched your waistband. So you place it somewhere around here, and then you tack down, and that's that for that. So I'm just going to complete everything here, and then I'll show you what the final look is going to look like. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, and also like this video. You can also turn on the notifications bell just beside the subscribe button so you can be notified when I post new videos. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.